How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good to see you.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Listen, to me, this is an honor, okay? It's an honor to meet you, to know that the work that you're doing,
Mhm.
thumbs up to you, because you're grinding and now you're becoming a solo artist. But I want people to get to know you. So I
Yeah,
want them to know where you started and just get familiar with, with who you are, what you like to do, and how you got started into writing for major artists and where you at now as a solo artist. So be fun, do your
yeah,
thing.
yeah, 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 definitely. All right, so my name is Milan. You can check me out on IG under the name of Cash App Catfish. But as far as the streaming platforms, I just go by Milan. I just released a song 2 weeks ago. It's my first debut single. It's a
Yes.
real nasty R&B,
Mm.
fast, fun track. If you're into that, it's definitely your vibe. I got a dope visual coming out in 2 weeks. I'm very excited
Clap it
about
up for that.
that.
Definitely clap it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, I'm definitely trying to, just keep the momentum going and the consistency.
Yes.
Y'all. It's like you said, I've been in the backgrounds writing for different people since, 10 years ago.
Mm.
I started off writing, just shopping around demos. One hit with Trey Songz.
Yes.
Been doing background works with Justin Bieber's camp over in LA. A couple
Ooh.
people, but just really just trying to put my foot down,
Hmm.
learn as much as I can, and now I feel like it's my time to apply that knowledge. So
I know that's right. I
yeah,
know that's right. I know that. You say that. I, the, I love this. I feel like
yeah,
you so cool. I don't even know you, but I don't even, and I just feel
yeah,
like if I was to meet you in person, you're
yeah.
just so down to earth and so smooth. And how did you get to this place of finding, your inner peace, your inner self, and staying true to you because you've been around the industry
Yeah.
and you don't seem standoffish at all.
No, not at all. I think that's one thing too, is that a lot of people allow their egos to grow
Mm.
when the others are, actually realizing how big their egos are getting and try
Mm-hmm.
to stop it from doing that. And as far as I go, I've always been, just a person that people recognize the talent, but they weren't willing to help.
Mm.
So I more so had to show and prove more than a normal person would
Mm.
have to do, especially when you're trying to stay relevant. I think with the music industry, it's always thank you, but I'm looking for something else, or I'm
Mm.
looking for something new. And you could give somebody something great, but at the end of the day, they still gonna always want something new, and
Mm.
that may not they may not be able to get that from you, or they may not even think that you have it in you. So
Mm.
it's kind of like you really just have to put your ego aside, and you just got to make sure that you true to yourself and everything that you're learning. You definitely taking it not with a grain of salt, and realizing everything is a lesson and it's actually a building block to the top tier person that you're trying to be. And I think that's really what I just learned. Honestly, I want to say I learned that at an early age, and ever since then I just been a student.
So, growing up, how did you become a great writer? Because for you to write for so many great artists,
Yeah.
where did that stem from? Did you, used to write poetry? Were you just, tell me about your childhood so I could get to know more of you.
Yeah, so I grew up in a musical family. I grew up singing. My mom was a songwriter, singer back in the day. She had some hits on TRL.
Mm.
She had videos on TRL actually. If any, I don't know what your fan base age range is, but TRL was a big thing back then.
Yes.
And then just going from there, I just decided to really invest myself in my own musical journey. Um,
Mm.
I started off singing classical opera at the Chicago Lyric
Wow.
House.
Ding,
Um,
ding, ding.
yeah,
Wow.
really, I'm telling you, like I'm really in this. Piano lessons, all of that. Started off at the age of 9, and then just really, lost my love for music in high school. Just
Mm.
getting into the rah rah, the streets.
Hmm.
So, you know how it is. You grow up
I
in
know how it is. I listen.
yeah,
I know.
grow up in the hood, all that stuff that your parents wanted you to do really go out the window. You know, it's kind of you
Me and
gotta.
you here. We here. We here.
Yeah, you got to get back to that itself. But then, just basically after high school, just trying to find something to do. Just really fell back in love with music. Um, really was heavy in the literature side of stuff. Always looking for a metaphor or a quote that I could make a concept of a song about. And then going from there, just started working at my family's hookah bar. Met some, different celebrities. We were real heavy on catering to celebrities. And,
Mm-hmm.
just politicking, just really showed who I was, tried to give my energy the best possible chance, it
Mm-hmm.
could. And just, really expressing myself. And then it turned into people wanting to listen, helping me move some demos around, doing stuff like that. And then just, after that, you land your first big one, the doors open up and, you really just go from there and try to
Mm-hmm.
see where the journey takes you. So that's pretty much how I started with the music.
Listen, you're so down to earth, and your story is so down to earth. And the way you explain your story, I feel like other people can really, really understand, and they go through that same process because sometimes we lose what we love to do. And like you said, when you're growing up in the hood, sometimes you don't focus on
Yeah,
what your passion is or what your love is. Sometimes, you let it go. But then
yeah,
sometimes you have to reel it back in, and that's what you're doing now. So what's fun about you, being in the industry and
yeah,
outside the industry though? What's fun
yeah,
about you? What do you love to do?
yeah.
Besides what's quirky about you? If tell me you on Sach'eMI. So let me know. Let me know. If nobody
Yeah,
else know, let
I
me
feel
know.
like I feel like you grow up in the hood and you grow up with like just a good like family or a group of people. We like to clown on each other. Do little roast
For
sessions.
sure. For sure.
We got very good comedic side to us.
Mm-hmm.
People that are in my inner circle. But other than that, man, I am a fashion extraordinaire. Like that is
Yes.
thing. Like I love like trying to. I think of it as a costume, and
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're a kid, all you want to do is just dress up as the person that you're trying to be, like a superhero
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. You just want to get in costume, and I feel like I had to learn that again. Like when I got my opportunity to see something other than the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I decided that I wasn't gonna let anybody tell me, oh, you can't wear that or you can't do this or that's not really like masculine of you to do
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
that. And I think once I really got outside of my own comfort zone, it really started to translate. So now I'm really heavy into trying to bridge a visual gap with the rap and R&B music that's out
Nice.
right now. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to sort of expand it on like an avant-garde aspect. I want people to be comfortable with just listening to something and
Mm-hmm.
getting their idea of it, but then looking at something that's completely imaginative. Just like taking stuff to like otherworldly like aspects of it.
That's
Um,
dope.
yeah. Thank
That's
you.
really cool. And you're overall, and I would say overall artist because you write, and it's extremely important to write. And
Yeah.
you have that platform in that space, and then you love fashion,
Yes.
and art goes with fashion. So the fact that you can entwine the two, and
Yeah.
you're so dope as a person, because I can see that you're dope and you're Mr. Cool. Just by even talking to you and just your demeanor, I can tell that. To me, you remind me something like Chris Brown. I would say
I get
just
that.
a little because of your demeanor, and you're humble, but you're fun, and everybody wants to be around Chris Brown, and so that's the vibe that you definitely give me. But what do you have coming up next, like far as your projects, and what do you want people to get to know you now that you're stepping in front of the scenes?
Yeah, so I'm just basically just gonna lay it out there. The music that you hear from me, I'm really gonna let you know now, you'll never hear the same type of thing twice.
Mm,
I have like a very eclectic sound, and as far
mm,
as it comes to with my art, I like to play around so much. So the first single, you're getting sort of like a R&B, very like, freaky high introduction. Like it's
Mhm.
very playful. But I'm hoping, whoever is on a journey with me is willing to step outside the box too and play around and,
Mhm.
do a bunch of different emotions that we're gonna talk about. I definitely have a bunch of singles that we're gonna drop. The first thing coming first to you is the visual for the
Mhm.
single "Call You Up" that I just released. It's on all streaming platforms, Tidal, Spotify, anything you can think of. And we're gonna make sure that the visual gets to you just as easily.
Mhm.
YouTube, we're trying to right now get it on network syndicates and
Mhm.
really, make a big thing out of it. But after that, I'm gonna put another single out and another single, and then
Mhm.
we're gonna give you a project. And right now, I'm not really sure on what the project name is. I like things
Okay.
organically,
Mhm.
um, but I will tell you it's gonna be a roller coaster. I'm gonna make sure that
Mhm.
you have fun when you listen to it, but you still feel um, like an intellectual thought was
Yeah.
behind, the project itself. So yeah, that's pretty much what you're gonna hear from me. I'm just trying to do it until somebody shines a decent enough spotlight on me, and then
Mhm.
take all the music and stuff like that, and really use my platform for something that's beneficial to the world as a whole, not just on the music tip, but on the politics side too. So
Where,
yeah,
where do you get your creative perspectives from? You know, when it
I
comes to music and it comes to fashion, and it just comes from just being you, especially when you're writing music. Do you write music when you're going through something? Do you write music when you're happy?
yeah.
Is part of this project going to be more so of you, or
Mhm.
it's just things that you've seen and that you want to just write about?
Well, I would be kidding myself like if I said, I'm not influenced by a lot of stuff. I listen to a lot of different genres. I like alternative. I like indie music. I like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll listen to 90s house. Just like to really get something. I'm more so on what the song itself has, as far as an emotional tie to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever want to limit myself when it comes to making music, so I try to actually exercise a few different ways when it comes to making and creating the songs. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll focus on the emotion that I'm in. Sometimes I'll look for a meaningful way of saying something that I feel, and then try to really play off of that. Sometimes I'll just really get into the beat. If somebody sends me something I'm really enjoying, I'll try to just uh, feel it and see what emotion it brings me, and then you just make a song out of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be what I'm going through at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but like all art, it's just you want to focus on making that its own thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I try not to really, bring something else I did into the next, and everything is really just, it's transferable. You gotta hold on to it and
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it, and then you gotta let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another thing with songwriting too, is a lot of people are scared to give away art, especially if
Mm-hmm.
they want to be the person who makes it. But I learned a long time ago it's easy to do when you know how much more you have to give. So
Mm.
yeah.
That's strong. That's strong. And I think that's important too, to be able to still release
Hmm.
and give it out to other people too. Because I think that when you do that, it helps other people to say, you know what, he's super creative in his own will, but
Yeah.
he's still willing to still give out his creative passions to everybody else as well. So I think that's important. Is there anybody in particular that you would like to work with?
I have so many people I want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
As far as right now, like in a more like relevance aspect of what people are listening to now,
Mm-hmm.
I really like Summer Walker. I like where she's going with her music.
Mm-hmm.
As far as some like greats that are out there still, I would love to work with. Let's see, I would love to work with Lauryn Hill if she ever came back
Mm.
to it. I would
I know
love.
that's right.
I would love to actually just chop it up with her about politics and shit. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
make a song with her, but just like conversations. That's what I feel
Absolutely.
like music is when you collaborate with somebody. Is more so a
Mm-hmm.
conversation. So just to have some open dialogue and see if there needs to be a soundtrack to it or not. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I got a lot of people. We go all day with this.
But that's because you have an idea, who you want to work with and why, and not just working with people just because, they've been in the game for so long,
Mhm.
but because you want to meet them where they at as a person. And I think that that's smart, because you got to get to know somebody in order to make music, and they have to see why, you want to work with them, because
Yeah,
definitely writing and music is a creative art and it's expressive art and people love to hear it, and it's a lot that goes into music, so I
yeah.
think that's extremely powerful when you say those things.
Thank
you
you.
know you you on a roll, my brother. You getting yourself into a lot of creative, in the creative world. You have
Yeah,
fashion, you coming out as a solo artist now, and you're not letting up and you comfortable in your own skin. I can obviously see that, I can definitely obviously see that. What do you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement? Because this is huge
yeah,
and it's taking a toll,
yeah,
on us mentally, physically. How
yeah.
do you feel about it?
Man, I feel like it's something that is so important, and right now, with the platform of the way um celebrities are sort of like approaching it and talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs to be talked about way more. I think
Mm-hmm.
the blood, every every everything that we hear on the news, I think it should constantly be talked about. I think it should constantly be over publicized. I don't even think there's an over publicized that you can't even just like sit in a room without this coming up because it's so
Mm-hmm.
important to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as far as just Black Lives Matters movement, um, it's a pillar for what we were all trying to do. But maybe people were too scared to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, that is what we look to, and that's what trends whenever something happens that negatively affects our Black people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but there needs to be more than just that. There needs to be Black Lives Matters, pop-ups. There needs to be so much stuff that it's just so much stuff that needs to happen that I feel
Mm-hmm.
we might get sidetracked about if we continue to, put some negative shine on Black Lives Matter. I know there's so many people that are talking about the hashtag and not to do this and not to do that, and the defecating of the what was that, the murals and stuff on the
Yeah.
street and all of that. That stuff is ridiculous to me. Like,
Mm-hmm. I
it's
agree.
ridiculous. Like, I
I
don't
agree.
understand how, and it's more so about the hashtag. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. Like, when you look at it, it's never about the meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, nobody's doing that because it's literally about the organization.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's like until we just, really look past that, we're always gonna be stuck at this one spot that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
We need to definitely move forward past that, and that just comes from a unified group of people just realizing that there are so many ways that we can really play this. We have power in
We
numbers.
do.
We have
Mm-hmm.
power in our own skin, and
Mm-hmm.
creativity. I mean, they see it. They're threatened by it.
Yep.
So putting that together, we got our own army, and I think
Mm-hmm.
there does need to be more celebrity influence when it comes to politically telling us what's correct to do and what's
Mm-hmm.
not correct to do. That way, we can sort of all make our own judgment about how we want to proceed. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think anyone's really giving out a rule book or a play by play of, yo, go over here to this spot, handle this situation this way. If you get into this how you handle it. And until we all know how to really move together unified, we're really gonna be divided. And I just think someone needs to step up that has that platform. Unfortunately, I'm not even there yet.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
You're there. You have you have you have your platform.
yeah,
And what my mentor told me, you know, shout out to the VIP Section TV, you have a platform.
Yeah.
You may think that, you know, because you're not Oprah, you may not be, you know, the president, that people are not going to listen to you. Trust me, people need people like you and I to speak out on these issues. And that's why I asked, because I know you have a fan base, and I know that people
Yeah.
watch you and they like you and they love you, and they need to hear you speaking out just as much as I may feel like, you know, I don't have a platform, but I definitely do. People
Yeah.
love who I am, love my show. And
Yeah.
so we are two talented, you know, black kings and queens, and we need to speak out on these issues because you have something great, and you've been doing something great. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
And people need to just hear from you more about these issues, and me too. And this is why I asked this question. And you know exactly what's going on. You're well aware, and
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing to know that. See, you saying, well, you don't have a platform? Yes, you do.
Uh,
Listen,
oh, I
you
got
and
a
I, you and I are having this conversation,
yeah.
and you well aware what's going on, and you feel a way it affects you, and you can tell your people why it affects you. You know, so that's a beautiful thing. Listen, you have a platform,
Yeah.
and you have a platform more than you even know. You know,
Yeah.
and we probably could go all day about politics and what things need to change and how
Yeah.
you need to come together. But that's for a whole nother day. You know, this is about you, and you as a solo artist, you know, and you branding yourself now.
Yeah.
Let everybody know about your new single that's out, and let them know where they can go find it and listen to it and support.
Yeah, definitely. So again, I go by Milan. That's Milan, just like the fashion capital of Italy. I'm trying to embody that whole essence and live up to the name. You
Yes.
know, on Instagram at Cash App Catfish. That's CASHAPPCATFISH. And I
Mm.
really hope when you get there, you find something you like, because I'm definitely an entertaining individual. As far as my song, I just released my first debut single by the name of Call You Up. If you are into fun, you know, a nice freaky R&B, sonically just pleasant vibe, definitely go check that out on all streaming platforms. That's on Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, everything. Make sure you download it, share it. Anything that you feel like it needs to be done to it, just do it. Flip it over, turn it back around, do it again.
Mm.
And as far as my visual, I got some nice cinematic eye candy coming for you in 2 weeks. That's gonna be on YouTube. Everything, pretty much. If you just get in tune with me on Instagram, you're gonna know where to go and follow and see my journey. And I really feel like whoever is following and, you know, whoever is with me on it is my family. So I really appreciate the love, and I give it back. Make sure you comment, tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and I'm gonna comment back. And if we're not in no argument, we might just, you know, might get some positivity to each other, you know. But yeah.
Listen, you heard it here. This is the man behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, and he's doing his thing. Definitely show love, you know, because he want to support you and I. So go support him. He's doing some amazing things, and you'll see once you go follow him. He's not a joke. He's not a game. He's been in this game for a while. So you might want to go follow him, and you can learn some things, you know. And
Yeah.
he's on my show, so I'm feeling hella good right now.
I'm feeling hella
But
good. It's an honor.
thank you. Thank you. It's definitely an honor, you know, when I have great people like you who have been working, you know, and this is just amazing. And you're so humble, and, you know, I respect that, you know, and I respect your time.
Thank you.
So I'm happy. This is your girl, Sach'eMI. Speak your truth, leaving with the king. You can end it, king.
Hey, Milan. Cash App Catfish. Follow me. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. Anytime. Keep doing great work. Later, guys.
Later.